these connectors in our brain that evolved over millions of years was living in these little tribal communities, and now you've got machines that can activate those parts of the brain, and they're being manipulated all the time.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of people that are commenting that aren't even real people. There's that too. There's a lot of manipulation that's going on social media where who knows who's doing it. There's a bunch of different groups doing it, but they're not real people that are outraged. They're not real human beings that are saying these things. And they can kind of shift a narrative into a certain direction sometimes. It's a fascinating time to be alive. As far as what you thought this job was going to be before you got in, and what it became, what was your expectations when you got in? Like, did anything really surprise you?
I try to go into every part of my life without expectations, and just focus on really narrowly on what I'm doing day by day. And that actually makes me a lot more resilient, because if you don't have expectations, you never get disappointments. And so you can never get crushed. And but I would say that, I had not spent a lot of my life hanging out with Republicans. And what I imagined that they were talking about is exactly the opposite of, now I'm in an administration that surrounded by immensely talented people, and they're immensely idealistic. And, I always imagined the Republicans would get together and they'd be thinking about how do we screw the poor and how do we, reduce the tax on the rich. And they're just narrowly focused on how do we solve these big problems and how do we make our country work. And the level of idealism that I see at every level in the White House and in my agency is